False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for Fansided. I'm joined today by a man who put on his blue suede shoes and boarded a plane, but he didn't go to Boston. He went to Cincinnati to watch the Red Sox play, hanging out with our boy Winston Wilcox, Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. WC Handy, how are you?
Yeah, the Ohio energy is just coursing through my veins. Like I almost politicked for just an all Big Ten show after going to Cincinnati once. So that's how I'm doing, man. I'm doing good though. How you doing?
I mean, the Big Ten's having a moment, but that doesn't mean I'm enjoying it. But I'm doing all right. How are
That's
you?
right, man. Nah, shouts out Illinois, man. We love to see that.
Yeah, Brad Underwood is basically like if Sam Pittman was a good coach.
Right, 100%. Just a dude out here with a rack of ribs.
I will give Bill McCollum credit. That guy's he's got something about it too. I mean, he's balled out of control, but he's a hell of a basketball coach.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like, yeah, Iowa might have been a 9 seed, but they underperformed in the regular season. When it mattered, they got everything together, and he also did that in 1 year. He
Mhm.
got Iowa to the Elite Eight in 1 year. So things
So
are trending up.
I did because I worked early yesterday. I don't know if I saw if Purdue choked or if Arizona's just that good. Either way, I don't really respect either program.
No, I think Arizona's just better than Purdue, is really what it boils down to.
And I think the best team is probably Michigan. Michigan's filthy.
Michigan's really good. Duke is unfortunately pretty good as well. But
It's just like the Boozer twins. They just make winning plays, and I mean Cam Boozer's gonna get someone fired in the NBA.
oh, 100%. A GM is gonna lose his job. There's a video that keeps coming around, and it's every time Duke plays, it'll be like Cam Boozer in the clutch, and it's a guy trying to like back down like a dumpster, and he's just like banging his shoulder into the dumpster. And like it when you watch Cam Boozer after watching that video, you can't unsee it. He's just trying to, bully people.
And before you put some of that fake spray paint on your head like his dad, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Really helps the show grow. We're at Studio 54 number of views. We want to get to 55 very soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Germany here in about 2 weeks, so Cody's going to be getting us into the NFL draft, not NBA draft. I don't even know what sport it is, dude. We're talking college football here, but yeah, I'll be back for 3 yards to cloud punt later on. I think I got this show and maybe two more. Then I gotta go to another country.
Hey man, I don't think it's a gotta go. I think you get to go. Like you deserve a vacation, and looking forward to it for you. We'll see if the show's still up and running by the time you get back with me running it solo.
When I when I go from Atlanta to Detroit to Frankfurt, the guy at TSA is going to be like, you fall started here. We obviously get started with our first and 15 today here. He just says talk portal to me, and I'm like, what? You're talking English to me, man? Okay,
He's
all
he's,
right.
he's actually one of the 54 subscribers. So.
We do get a large presence there from Saxty, so shout out to y'all listening over there.
Love that.
I don't know if he's ever been to Germany, probably not, but he's from South Florida. He's been to Ohio, like you and I both have. Jeremiah Smith does not want Miami recruiting him after the Cotton Bowl. He basically talked about that in the lead up of spring practice there in Columbus, saying like, yeah, after the Cotton Bowl loss, everyone's like, yeah, they tried to poach me. He didn't say names, but like we all know that's the case. Look, he's from Miami. The other guy I've note from Miami is Fernando Mendoza,
Mhm.
Cristobal, who apparently played high school football with his dad.
Right,
Like,
100%.
dude, just like Miami's doing a great job of recruiting, but like this is just a tricky spot. Like they're putting gasoline to the fire with this.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, it tells me Miami's back that we're doing this with Miami again because this is extremely like the U behavior. Like this is absolutely what the U would do if they existed in the NIL portal era. Like they they're feeling themselves a little bit. And like, no, it's not surprising that you reached out to Jeremiah Smith. Like he had the comments before the CFP basically saying like, had Miami been better, I would have probably gone to Miami. And so like if I'm someone working in Miami's front office for the football program, yeah, I'm probably giving them a call, seeing like, hey, you still feel that way because we're pretty good now.
Well, also his cousin Gino, I think. I mean, also WVU was really good. They recruit
Mhm.
South Florida pretty heavily, or they did. Under Rich Rod and Dana
Yeah.
Holgers and everything like that. Bill Stewart, I guess, in between there too. But Miami was also pretty good there. They were still riding high with third leg Greg.
That's right. The six full boys.
Dude, you go up there and survive, dude.
I mean, my top three favorite rap groups of all time: Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, and the 6'4" Boys.
I mean, it's NWA, the Golf Boys, and the 6'4" Boys.
Exactly, exactly.
Also, no shout out to Tiger Woods, man. Be better than that.
Maybe get a chauffeur. Just a thought.
Or get your shit together. Either one.
Perhaps both. Who could say?
Yeah, but I would look, we've talked about this beforehand. We're looking, bird's eye view of who made the playoff last year, who we think is going to be back. There's about 8 teams that we would kind of be surprised at this point that won't be back. We would say probably these 8 have varying levels of expectations of winning a national championship. I think we'd both probably view Miami and Ohio State in the higher end of that. I think we're both dubious of Indiana repeating, but we'd be stupid not having them in the playoff.
No, 100%. I mean, this is power brokers in the sport right now, you know, jockeying for position with one another, I guess is the best way to say that. And I will say like one thing that did stand out to me is, in the transfer portal era, we see a lot of big names move, school to school. You don't see guys like Jeremiah Smith really transfer though. Like a
No.
guy who is an all-world recruit lands somewhere and then lives up to the hype. You don't really see that unless there's a coaching change, which is an entirely different thing. Like, yeah, Travis Hunter went from Jackson State to Colorado, like that obviously was going to happen. But like you don't see a lot of top recruits who live up to the billing transfer. Like they kind of make their decision and they like if they're living up to the hype, why would you try to like mess with that formula at that point?
I mean, I mean, he's out of state too. I think that also plays into it
Mhm.
as well. Arch Manning's not going to transfer. Brock
No.
Bowers didn't transfer. Players of that ilk don't do that.
Mhm. No, and like we talked about it with Arch too. Like I do think like part of that is his family. Like his family's
Yeah.
like, no, like you're going to be a professional about this and you're going to respect the decision that you made when you were 18 years old. And like I do think also think like it wasn't a decision that they made lightly. It probably wasn't a decision that Jeremiah Smith made lightly either. Like you're going to Ohio State for a lot of reasons. Like, yeah, they're probably paying you a lot of NIL money, but it's also a place that's consistently produced NFL wide receiver talent. So why would you not go there if you're an all-world wide receiver?
I think also the fact that you've had family members of all three of
Mhm.
these guys like play college football. Like,
Yeah.
okay, obviously Jeremiah Smith's cousin Gino played at WVU. All the Mannings have played everywhere in the SEC. And then Brock Bowers' dad played at Utah State. Apparently, it's like, respect this offer because they played in a different era.
And we get to do another Manning here soon. 2030 Peyton's son is a recruit. So yeah, we're just getting started, baby.
I mean, I watch TV with mute on all the time anyway, but if I ever hear Peyton Manning talk again, I think that's one too many times for me.
It's very fair, very fair.
Uh,
The Manning cast was short-lived for me. I can assure you of that.
the only thing that I'll listen to is just Jeff Teague
That's
commentary.
right. Yeah, just let Jeff Teague cover everything. Have the Jeff Teague feed.
We got Jeff Teague here calling the number 6 game in the Big 12. We got UCF hosting TCU. Jeff, what do you know about this game? No, not a thing. Thank you.
Let me tell you about this Kobe story, though. This was
Could you, could you imagine him calling games for the CW alongside like Tom Brenneman? Like it's Wake, BC.
Hey, aren't you that guy from the Reds game?
I'm from Indianapolis and I kind of hate you. That's all right.
Oh God.
But on that note, Jeremiah Smith's going to stay put. I don't think, and I think also the last thing I'll say is like until they put guardrails on this with, you know, the transfer portal and everything like that and tampering, like, like when you flew Solo like a cup, you talked about Jed Fish's commentary on this. That's the right call. Like you can keep receipts, but there's no reason to call anybody out.
Yeah, I mean, what it's just gonna make everyone look like an asshole if you just call someone out. Like you're not actually gonna like see any consequences from it, so why do it?
I know, man. And speaking of asshole, I'm gonna ask you a question. Let's go on with some do Hast here. Lane Kiffin was bargaining at early spring practice there at LSU, saying these things take time. But didn't take time with Curt Cignetti there at Indiana. He did the impossible. So do Haas. Is Lane King still the transfer portal king, or has Curt Cignetti taken his crown?
I'm gonna go do Haas two S's. I think Curt Cignetti is the new Portal King, but
Yeah.
I also think that That answer is like multi-layered. I think Lane makes bigger splashes in the portal still,
I would agree.
100%. But I think Curt Cignetti's a better roster builder and a better coach. So like therefore like what's the point of getting the bigger name if you can't do more with it? Which is kind of why I'm giving the label to Curt Cignetti nowadays because we've seen him run through the 2024 season and make it to the college football playoff out of nowhere. And then we saw him go undefeated through the 2025 season and win a national championship with very portal heavy rosters. So like, where's that on Lane Kiffin's resume? Because I'm not seeing it.
You look at like, okay, the big names he's got in the portal coming to LSU this year. Sam Levitt, who's played at Arizona State and Michigan State. You've got Jordan Seaton at Colorado. Defensive back, I'm making on his name. He's from Boise State, and then they've got guys coming over from Ole Miss.
Mhm.
Princely or Prince Will, Prince Will.
This is Prince Will. Yeah, Prince Will. We're
And then
not
you bring
even
up
going to attempt the last name.
no. You on lean in, I think we can look at it, we can do it, but right now I'm not looking at it and we're not doing it. But you bring up a good point there with a lot of the guys that Cignetti's got. I mean, obviously he brought a bunch of people from James Madison over with him.
Mhm.
Fernando Mendoza, lesser school at Cal. Josh Hoover, honestly, lesser school at TCU.
Curtis Rourke before that from
Ohio
Ohio.
U.
Yeah.
Let's see. The guy that broke his like jumping, I think he went to a Mac school.
Yeah.
Steven something. You know,
Did Omar Cooper came from somewhere, if I'm not mistaken.
maybe, but Elijah Surratt sure did. He came from JMU and everything like
Yeah.
that. I mean the only real big name he got was Pat Coogan coming over from Notre Dame.
Yeah. And like Fernando was a known commodity. Don't get me wrong, but like it's one of those things. Sorry, I'm looking up where no Omar Cooper spent his entire career at IU. So I apologize, Omar. You're tried and true Bloomington. But no, like he like Fernando was a big name, and I'm not saying like he's going out there and making, finding nothing but diamonds in the rough by any stretch of the imagination, especially nowadays when Indiana's star and stock has raised to the point it has. But like to the like to this point, like he finds the stuff on the margins that I think matters more than what Lane Kiffin does. Like you look at okay, go back to 2024 when Ole Miss kind of had their window to make a run. The margins are what hurt them. They didn't have depth on the offensive line. They didn't have depth on the defense. And then like you go to last year when Ole Miss did go on a run, you lucked into some depth with Trinidad Chambliss. Like you took a D2 transfer from Ferris State and like you lucked into that and like that kind of saved your ass in your season there for your Ole Miss. So like I just think that Curt Cignetti has a better feel for building a team as opposed to being a splash and trying to be like I think it's almost like Portal King almost might not be the right term. It's almost like Portal President because like Curt Cignetti is like the Democratic who like campaigns for votes, whereas Lane's trying to like take the crown.
I could see, he's back in the Hoosier State, with Tippy Canoe with the popped up collar in 1840, dying around this time doing his inauguration speech, getting bitten by snakes and leeches in his bed, man.
It's a tough way to go. It really is.
Dude, read about George Washington's last days on Wikipedia. That's some frightening stuff there too. But yeah, I'm two Haas, two S's as well. I would believe it is Curt Cignetti. You bring up two other names that are part of this national championship run with D'Angelo Pons and Roman Hemby.
Hmm.
Pons followed him from JMU like a lot of guys did. Hemby was playing at Maryland in conference.
Hmm.
Uh, Nowakowski, the tight end came from Wisconsin as well. Again, I'm like on his name. It's TJ something. But like,
Too many names, brother. Too
but
many
like on the
names.
margins, and then like with Ole Miss, the year you don't make the playoff in expanded format, you lose Quinshon Judkins to Ohio State. So that's kind of like
Hmm.
a blow to the hull, if you will.
Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things where I think Lane I mean it's when you start to like really unpack this discussion, it is one of those things where you start to see why Lane has the reputation that Lane Kiffin has. And it's because like so much of what he does to call himself the Portal King to be I mean, he's had success, don't get me wrong, and I do think he's a good football coach, but there's also so much of it that's superficial. There's so much of it that is showing up and posting an IG at the hot yoga class and not actually doing the hot yoga. Whereas like Curt Cignetti's in there and he's probably like you probably never seen him post about hot yoga, but I bet he does do some hot yoga. It gets keeps the body right.
No, man, I think he just eats burgers and power lifts like Tom Thibodeau in his hotel room. Ice.
Look, hot yoga comes in many forms. Sometimes it's eating burger and the steam gets you a good sweat going.
You know, your apartment's fogging up like a crystal bag, man. That's what
That's
it's all.
right.
And I don't know. I guess he's got Big Ten energy coursing through his veins. Let's move on to our next topic here. So Curt Cignetti is yelling at clouds, or more importantly, yelling at Indiana's second most important transfer and former Michigan State wide receiver Nick Marsh, who came over with gold shoes like he's Michael Johnson running track in the '96 Olympics just down the road. Um, but you were also on a 3-9 hellacious ass Spartans team that got Jonathan Smith fired and honestly exiled from the sport.
Yeah, he's coaching in like Thailand with Cliff Kingsbury or something.
Oh, dude, he's like, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, I bet he regrets like leaving Corvallis so badly.
100. He had things cooking in Corvallis, and here we are now, not so much.
I will say though, if and when Jamarcus Shepard fails, they'll just hire him back.
Probably, probably.
But Kurt Cignetti has the ability to kind of just yell at somebody like this. And look, you gotta have optics better than this. Nick Marsh goes from a rival to another one. Like Indiana and Michigan State hate each other. Like
Yeah.
that's also speaking about coaches yelling at the former rival players. I don't know if you saw this. Should have made the show too. Kirby Smart was having one of his yelling contests, yelling at Amaris Williams after what cousin Elias did. Your cousins are having a time there up there in Athens, man.
Look, we're a strong-willed bunch, and so is Kirby.
But
Old Brass Spittoon. That's what I was looking up. I couldn't remember
yeah,
what Indiana and Michigan State played for. Old Brass Spittoon.
it's just Indiana has some trophies.
The Big Ten has some trophies. Honestly, sometime in this offseason, we need to just like fully rank every Big Ten rivalry trophy. Just dedicate like 30 minutes to that.
TIN Big Ten.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's just power ranking the trophies. Number one, well, first off, number one's Illabuck. I don't think anything comes close.
No, no. We might actually have to make Illabuck like ineligible just because we know that's going to be number one.
They created this turtle trophy because it was supposed to live for like hundreds of years and then it died immediately.
Like just promptly passed away.
The original NIL. God, it's so good to have you back on the show, man.
Oh God, it's good to be back, man. It's this show's a lot more fun when it's not solo.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. Like we do a good job solo. We do kind of go over our words sometimes because it's hard talking by yourself between 30 and 50 minutes. It's so difficult.
I also I'm in a really bad habit that when it's not you and me, the when I was recording solo for last Monday's episode, I like talked for 5 minutes and then I looked down and realized I wasn't recording and I was like, damn it. Okay. And like that's not the first time that's happened. I've done it so many times.
No, then like I'm always looking down, hitting the timer and everything, and I deleted my timestamps and I still figured it out and I found them later. It was awful.
That was the most embarrassing part was I still had the timer going. I just wasn't recording anything.
Fly ball. Caught. Also, shout out Dominic Smith doing something amazing last night. Oh my
Dude,
God.
so I was telling one of my buddies that at one point, and this is like on the line of show appropriate, but I'm fine with it because it's the thing that happened. Um, when Dom Smith was with the Red Sox, he had a big like clutch hit like late in the game as well. And the Red Sox official Twitter account typed or tweeted out, "I love BDSM, Big Dom Smith moment." And so now like Red Sox fans, anytime Dom Smith does anything, it's we love BDSM, Big Dom Smith moments.
God, that's good. That's better than the Cleveland Browns trying to hashtag DP and everything was realizing what that is.
Can't be doing that. Nah.
No,
You gotta
sir.
spell out dog pound.
No, you gotta spell out dog pound with the correct way with an AW in there, man, for A&W. I don't know if you're sponsored by root beer, but I guess tie a bow on this. I think Nick Marsh is gonna have a hell of a season there
Oh yeah.
for Indiana, and I think this is a tone setter. But also the one thing that I the one thing that does keep me up at night, relatively speaking, with this is like you're attracting a different type of person now because you're the new hot commodity here.
Yeah.
Maybe Nick Marsh is more talented than who should be playing at Indiana normally,
Yeah.
maybe this stuff will kind of get in the way. And Curt Cignetti's not a spring chicken. Like he's in his early to mid 60s. Like
No.
this, like Indiana's going to win 10 games, but like this kind of stuff is going to get in the way of Fernando Mendoza telling that old man on up what's up.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, like, I think it also it's going to be interesting to see like as you're able to get a Nick Marsh in the transfer portal, going back to the Portal King conversation, like as you're able to get a Nick Marsh in the transfer portal, as you're like, I would assume in the next couple years we see Indiana probably land like a big name quarterback in the transfer portal, like getting the Sam Levitt to come to Indiana and stuff like that. Does that change the DNA to some degree? And like how long can Curt Cignetti kind of keep the DNA? Because like Fernando Mendoza is like the perfect example of why Indiana is the way he is. He's like, I just like playing football with the boys and being like a LinkedIn, like not even a LinkedIn bro, just a LinkedIn champion. And so like what happens when that kind of changes and you're kind of like the Instagram champion? Like that's a little bit of a different vibe.
Yeah, you get those Max Crosby throat tats rolling with you.
That's right.
But look, Cignetti's son of a coach. He's
Yeah.
a Nick Saban disciple. It's the same thing with like Kirby Smart and everything like that, where like you have to sacrifice to kind of be at a special program in a place like this where you are continuing and winning for championships. But again, not everybody is built for it.
No.
And not to say that people that aren't built for it can like they can win championships there, but it's just it'll be a little more singular like Ohio State.
Yeah, 100%. And like it's funny you mentioned Saban because like Saban had plenty of Nick Marsh level talents and showmen like come into the building. Like I think back to Julio Jones and like
Yeah.
Julio didn't put up crazy numbers at Alabama because they didn't pass the ball that much. They just physically dominated you on defense and in the trenches running the football. And like Julio Jones was fine with that because he knew he was going to go win championships. And like that's good. That's a good thing.
It's so wild. He shares the same alma mater as Kenny the Snake Stabler, dude.
We love that. We love that.
We love that. We also love this too. Matt Rhule, he's trying, Jennifer. Tee us up for this because this was your big contribution for this outline.
Yeah, so we mentioned Iowa basketball earlier in the show, and Iowa and Nebraska got to renew their rivalry in March Madness. And late in that game, I think there was about 6 minutes left. Nebraska hit a three to take a lead, and the cameras immediately cut to the crowd and showed our good friend Matt Rhule, the head coach of the Nebraska football program. And Nebraska was promptly outscored 15-6 over the remainder of the game after that moment and was eliminated from the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And I think it's perfectly in balance for us to just blame Matt Rhule for this.
He loves to deflect blame, but he can own this. So, because I mean, Fred Hoiberg's actually good at his job. He's actually doing something
Right.
unprecedented, like winning a conference or winning like NCAA tournament games at effing Nebraska.
First
Also,
time.
also kind of goes to show like how awful the Chicago Bulls job is. It looks like
Mhm.
the head coach there is probably going to be your next head coach in Chapel Hill here soon.
Potentially, either him or Tommy Lloyd. We'll see. I
Yeah,
would prefer Tommy Lloyd, but we'll see if he'll leave Arizona.
optics of that are awful, but like we did see Roy Williams leave Kansas, but that's also alma mater, and they didn't win a national championship then.
Yeah, 100%. So and I don't think Arizona's going to win a national championship this year. So we'll see what
No,
happens.
no, I don't. But like I guess it's like we compare like Curt Cignetti to Ben McCollum, kind of very
Mhm.
similarly. Again, a guy was grinding it out at like 1 year at Drake, and
Mhm.
then Northwest Missouri State, just grinding it out.
Just all the adjectives you want to throw, like when you joke about like colleges that have or universities that have a lot of adjectives, like that's Ben McCollum. That's where he came from, man.
Dude, he's so good in front of a camera. Like he's like a more refined version of Shane Beamer. I love it.
100%. That's a really good comparison. Yeah, he's just got a load of personality. It's awesome.
Yeah, he let out like a cackle afterwards. Just like, are you kidding me?
He's also way younger than he looks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he's in his early to mid 40s.
Yeah, he's 44 and dude looks like he's like in his late 50s for sure.
Oh, like the people who are just like they show the people like in their 30s now. You guys look so youthful. It's like, yeah, because we weren't fighting in a war and smoking inside all the time, drinking water.
Ben McCollum's got kind of the Gene Hackman thing going on where he's gonna look 50 for 40 years. Like,
I mean, Keith Richards too, but that was for a
yeah.
different reason.
Yeah, that's the formaldehyde. But
Um, I guess the Matt Rule part of it, like I don't know, was that Troy Dannon standing next to me? It might have been. It looked like some sort of administrative person from,
yeah, I don't exactly know who it was. I would assume it was someone in the administration, but I couldn't tell, like I couldn't pick Troy Danning out of a lineup, so I don't
I thought
know.
it was Trev Alberts initially. I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey, wait a second.
Yeah,
But
that's
no, I mean, like, if you're Matt Rule, I it's a difficult spot because like there's a part of me that would almost advise Matt Rule to like stay out of the public eye. Like that's probably best for you, especially with the year you're entering in with Nebraska. You just lost Dylan Raiola, who was supposed to be the savior. You haven't necessarily lived up to expectations. You've improved the situation from Scott Frost, but that's a low ass bar that we're talking about there. And like I don't know. Like if I'm Matt Rule, I'm not like not that you're going to a Nebraska basketball game in March Madness thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be blamed for jinxing this or something like that." But like at the same time, like I don't know, like maybe just be a little less public. I think that's the best advice anyone could give Matt Rule right now.
I mean, maybe he's tight with Fred Hoiberg. We don't know. Like
Yeah.
maybe he's rooting on his guy and everything like
I don't
that.
know if Matt Rule has friends, so I find that hard to believe.
uh, yeah. If he was in the same linebacker room with LeVar Arrington at Penn State, you have the range of talent in like the late 90s Penn
That's
State.
right. You have an all-world linebacker, then you have Matt Rule, who's wearing like every pad that's been invented, so he looks 20 pounds bigger than he actually is.
I know, man. But great year there for
Oh
Nebraska,
yeah.
great year there for Iowa.
Great year for
But
Big Ten basketball, honestly. Like,
mhm.
Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, outside of Indiana with Darian DeVries, just
Yeah,
like
that was a little tough.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Ben McCollum just making Darian DeVries and Will Wade look so stupid for job hopping.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
And on that note, for the sake of Will Wade, let's move on to
Yes,
like our
sir.
penultimate topic here with some TIN10. I don't know if you saw this, but they shared LSU basketball shared out the photo of him like as a general. It's supposed to be him like on Napoleon Bonaparte's face, but it looked like if Billy Corgan was really into like the French Revolution.
Oh man, it's the Smashing Pumpkins' new hit song 1779.
Uh, the life can change, the internet stuck in vain.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm going to disarm you with a smile, but we're going to disarm you with the 10 coolest liars in college football history.
That's
Just
right.
could be a player, could be a coach, could be an administrator, just people who've lied.
That's
And
right.
there's going to be some overlap here. This is just going to be this is going to be the most ridiculous TI antenna thing we've ever done.
Oh, 100%. And this like open to interpretation in so many ways. That's what I love about it.
All right, who do you got at 10?
At 10, I've got someone who I mentioned, and I do want to kind of this is stemming from a theory that I've developed. At 10, I have Travis Hunter. And the reason I have Travis Hunter is my theory is I think Travis Hunter lying to Florida State and flipping to go to Jackson State and eventually Colorado brought about the doom of the Florida State program that we're witnessing under Mike Norvell. Nothing's really been the same since then. Yeah, you had the 13-0 season where you got snubbed from the college football playoff, but things haven't exactly been smooth sailing every other year around surrounding that season. And I think it starts with Travis Hunter, but it was literally like 2 years where it was just like assumed that Travis Hunter was going to Florida State. I think everyone in Tallahassee assumed that. I think everyone in college football recruiting assumed that. And then all of a sudden it was like Deion Sanders essentially betraying his alma mater and be like, no, 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 come to Jackson State.
I mean, he grew up in Gwinnett County. He played at Collins Hill, same alma mater as Taylor Heinicke and everything like that. Would go up to Athens pretty regularly, but even Kirby's like, no, I don't know if I want this here. And
Yeah.
I didn't have Travis Hunter on my list as well, but like I was gonna go there, but like I am now. I think there's some like stuff with like his marriage or whatever. It's always like he said, she said stuff, and it's like, you know what? There's some smoke here, and honestly, I think it was a terrible pick by the Jaguars. I don't think he's going to be very good, and that's why I would have given Ashton Jeanty the Heisman because he's real and
I
he's a
do.
Raider. He's a
I
Raider.
I think Travis Hunter is going to be good. I still think the Jaguars probably made a mistake because like you you can't sustain playing two sides of the ball at the NFL
No.
level. And Travis Hunter, while I think he's a good player, he's not as good. He's not a good enough wide receiver or a good enough cornerback to be taken where he was. Like you took him there for the upside of him playing both sides of the ball, which was an unrealistic expectation to begin with.
Yeah, Desmond Howard had a great NFL career. He was the Super Bowl MVP, so we'll give him that.
That's right.
At number 10, I had a guy who tried to sustain something that wasn't ethical. I've got former Washington State and UTEP head coach, and very briefly the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Mike Price.
We love that. We love that.
We may have been a little bit too young to really understand the magnitude of what was going on, but this was a big thing on SportsCenter in the very early 2000s.
Yes, 100%. The vintage Sports Center clips are gold.
Like, he was so successful at Washington State, like probably the greatest head coach in Cougars program history, even more so than Mike Leach.
Yeah,
Just like,
100%.
went to a Rose Bowl, had Drew Bledsoe and Ryan Leaf as his quarterback, doing amazing stuff in the Pac-10. Goes to Alabama to replace Dennis Franchione. Didn't work out. I think they hired Mike Shula instead later.
Yeah.
That didn't work out either. But like, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to go to a golf tournament, then I'm going to go to a gentleman's club afterwards and spend $1,000 of people that I'd never going to see again."
But it was a hell of a night, let me tell you.
And on that note, who do you have at number nine?
Oh, we've got our boy Urban Meyer. And the only reason
Yes.
he's this low on this list is because like he was kind of Teflon in a way because despite all of his lying, despite all of his misdeeds over the years, despite all of his lack of institutional control, I'll call it, he still won a hell of a lot of football games. And that's the only reason he's this low on this list. But like I would argue that there are few people more infamous than Urban Meyer in terms of like what he got away with in a lot of ways.
And I've got Urban Liar a little bit later.
There we go.
At number nine, I got another guy that's tied roughly to Washington State. More importantly to Mike Leach, about Craig James. Um, I'm gonna try to be delicate with this because I don't know if I can.
Legally, we probably should.
Let's just say that prior to seeing what Joe McGuire is doing at Texas Tech, the Mike Leach era in Lubbock from like 2000 to '08 was the best it's been
Oh
since
yeah.
like the 50s.
Right.
That was where the air raid really took off. It had like its, foothold in like, Iowa Wesleyan and then Kentucky and a little bit of Oklahoma. Then it really took off and took flight at Texas Tech. And just Craig James, former NFL player, former star of Pony Express and everything like that. Also, that's probably plays a part of it too.
I might have that mentioned coming up here in a bit.
And then his son played for Texas Tech. Apparently, it brought to end like a very historic moment there in college football history. And Mike Leach was a very forgiving and likable man, but he hates the Jameses.
Oh, 100%. He hates them more than anything. He hated them more than anything.
All right, who do you have at eight?
At eight, oh, hold on, clicked off the tab. There we go. At eight, I've got our boy Rick Neuheisel.
Oh God.
Again, gonna approach this pretty delicately, but a little bit of gambling on some basketball. A little bit of accusations being thrown around throughout the Pac-12. Rick Neuheisel's a trip, man. I would say like a upper middle class head coach, but a top tier liar for sure.
Pretty good analyst, top tier liar. Yeah, forgot about that one. That cuts deep. That was like, ooh.
Ooh, my boy.
At number eight, I've got the mayor of Gary, Indiana, Kevin Warren.
Oh, that's a good one.
So ASU alum didn't necessarily leave the Pac-12 in the best spot. Goes to take over the Vikings, does some stuff there. Goes to the Big Ten, does the alliance, basically stabs George Kliavkoff in the back, and then goes to the Bears. His whole job is to get them a new stadium up in Arlington Heights. Couldn't
Right.
do that. Now the Bears are going to play in Indiana.
Oh God, Kevin Warren never changed, brother.
Like, could you like? I'm like, I have had to deal with Rich McKay for the last 25 years. This is even worse.
Right. This is definitely worse than Rich McKay.
All right,
He's like the grifter of athletic administration, truly.
and at number 7, I have Urban Meyer.
Oh hell yeah. We love that. I've got a guy who is somehow, in my opinion, worse than Urban Meyer. That's Brian Kelly at number 7.
Yes, I got him coming up a little bit.
I mean, there's never like I don't think there's anyone on this list that the moment that they open their mouth, you just know that they're full of shit more than Brian Kelly. And I think that's like how the best way to describe him. Like, I don't believe a word he says, whether it's about football, whether it's about recruiting, whether it's about culture. I don't believe anything the man says. And like, I think there's a lot of evidence that I'm right in doing that.
Like we like to harpoon Urban Meyer and stuff, but he gives good insight. He gives good quotes and stuff on the desk. He's won a lot of games too, so he's not completely full of it. But Brian Kelly's like, we're just getting started with my family. I'm like,
That's right.
you're from Massachusetts, man. You could not be more like, or that's like me trying to claim to be Hawaiian, dude.
That's right. You showed up to Timmy Chang's staff and been like, hang 10, brother.
That'd be like you pretending to be like, yeah, I'm from Connecticut. Like,
Right. Yeah, I sound like it for sure.
yeah. But I have Brian Kelly coming up here in a little bit. I will say though, it's like he made Robert Sala and Matt LaFleur park cars.
That's right.
Did something really awful things that we can't actually say on the air at Notre Dame, both
Correct.
involving people no longer being here with us,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
He's not a good
Uh,
person. Like I feel very, very safe saying that Brian Kelly is not a good human being.
I'm not saying that. I mean, we know that's a fact, but I'm not saying that he demolished like an apartment complex or a dorm to build his house. But I think he did do that.
I mean, yeah, 100%.
Number 6, I got my least favorite person of all time in the history of Atlanta sports. It's Bobby Petrino.
He's much higher on my list.
Also, did you know this? Coastal Carolina head coach Ryan Beard's son-in-law.
I did not know that. That is new information that I am now very excited about.
I think he crossed paths with Bobby P when they were at who's now your OC, by the way. We may touch
Oh
on
yeah,
him. We
100%.
may touch on him later in the show for another segment.
We will not. No, we will not.
Um, Brian Beard, who's like our age, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna marry your daughter one day. I'm gonna marry this kid's Katie Petrino or something like that. But left a note in the Atlanta Falcons off locker room saying, I'm gonna go take the head coach at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like I completely blocked everything out from the '07 season. It's the most painful season I've ever had as a fan of any team ever. Besides the 15 Braves, that team sucked too. um, but like then you go to Arkansas, you wreck your hog, and then somehow you contributed massively to Louisville being like the most like the seediest program ever. I think Auburn's eclipsed you in that across
Correct.
because Jeff Brom's a good dude apparently.
Yeah.
Obviously they're doing good stuff in the basketball court with their new head coach. I'm blanking on his name.
Kevin Payne or
Yeah,
Kenny
yeah,
Payne.
yeah.
Kenny Payne.
Kenny Payne, the main. Um, yeah, Bobby Petrino got nothing positive to say. Although he can call offensive plays pretty well.
He has a good offensive mind. That's the only thing his brain's good for because everything else is trouble.
I used to that Connor Stallions thing, Sam.
That's right.
All right, who do you got at 6?
I got the man who single-handedly is keeping Cricket Mobile in business, and that's Hugh Freeze. Um,
That's
yeah.
good.
What lie do you want to go with? Do you want to go with the burner phone and what was going on in those burner phones in Oxford, Mississippi? Do you want to go with coaching from a hospital bed, which feels very performative for the Liberty Flames? Or do you want to go with turning the Auburn program around and not really doing a damn thing there?
I think also poisoning of Bo Wallace's career is pretty awful too.
Right.
Um,
What like speaking of guys who are just not really good human beings, Hugh Freeze is on that list for sure.
the recruiting class of Robert Condice, Laramie Tunsil, and Laquan Treadwell, just the dirtiest thing I've ever seen in college football recruiting.
Oh yeah. And none of it
Particularly,
worked out except for Laramie Tunsil, like vaguely.
Laramie Tunsil was pretty much coming to Georgia, and then obviously Condice grew up and played at Grayson, like
Yeah.
beat my alma mater the state championship. My sister's watching the games like, who the hell is that guy? Who turns out he was insane, but that's okay.
Oh, that's a man at 17 years old. Okay, I understand.
And then Laquan Treadwell couldn't run routes. That's okay.
He couldn't run in a straight line either. He was slow as hell.
And the Q, the problem is the Q is lowercase. If it was capitalized, you'd be better.
That's right, 100%. It's all about stylization.
At number five, I have Brian Kelly.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
100%.
did you shared your number five already?
No, number six was Hugh Freeze. Number five for me, George O'Leary.
Yes, I got him a little bit higher.
Lying on his resume to get the Notre Dame job, I kind of love that. I respect it. They say dress for the job you want, not the job you have, and he took that to a whole new degree, and I respect it almost.
Yeah, I grew up in Atlanta. I grew up a Tech fan. He was sensational. He replaced Bobby Ross, who like they won a national championship before he went to the Chargers, and that went to hell in a handbasket. But like the Joe Hamilton era of like Georgia Tech football, Georgia was in a down period. They kicked so much tail here. And then
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the Notre Dame gig." And it's like, "Nah, bro, you're gonna go to UCF, man."
That's right. You're not qualified to coach here.
No, not even close. Like I said, I do have him coming up a little bit later. So yeah, five, I had Brian Kelly. At number four for me, I got the guy. I got the former head coach of the Rice Owls, Tulsa Golden Hurricane, Arizona State Sun Devils, and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, Todd Graham.
A very fair point.
He said everything was his dream job. Like, are you really gonna say Tulsa's your dream job?
He's a dreamer, man. Like, let him live.
Like, I don't even think Steve Largent would say being the AD there is his dream job.
No one's dreams take them through Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm sorry.
No, they don't. But like, the reason Todd Gray, we do mention him on the show is because two of his most prominent branches are major talking points in the college football world with Mike Norvell and Dan Lanning.
100%. What a guy.
All right, what you got? What you got next?
I've got Bobby Collins, who would have been the SMU head coach at the time of the death penalty being handed down. Honestly, if we're taking the term cool liar as like very literal, the Pony Express was awesome, man.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
everything about that is just awesome in its own right. But he was lying a lot. Like if you watch the Pony Excess documentary, like they got Collins, they got the AD, they got the entire administration. Like every time they were like called on this stuff, they just lied through their teeth about it. And it was glorious.
I at least think about the pitch from Lance McElhenney to either Craig James or Eric Dickerson at least once a day.
100%.
And for the record, like I've got a lot of time in a day. We all do. I think about stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It, it just goes.
My mind is often with the Trans Am for sure.
Oh yeah, and then at three is where I got George O'Leary.
Okay, nice.
Was it three or two for you?
So I'm on three now, which
Okay.
is going to be our boy Lane Kiffin.
He was not. He was the first guy to not make the cut for me.
I mean, he hasn't said every job is his dream job, but he is preached like I don't even know if loyalty is the right word, but like being all in on a program and like being all about this, that, and the other. And he's an opportunist, and an opportunist is nothing but a liar in a different packaging. Quite truly.
That's a great way of looking at it. I think like if you were wholesome and upstanding, you wouldn't burn a bridge every time. I don't think I mean, that's out. I mean, that's kind of cool liar behavior, I guess. You know
Oh
what?
yeah,
I'm taking my
100%.
ball and going home.
100%, man.
You're not coming to my birthday
Home
party.
is where the biggest paycheck is too.
And at number two, I don't know if he's autistic, but he's a hell of a liar. That's Jim Harbaugh.
I have him coming for sure.
Like, couldn't handle the burger suspensions.
Mm-mm.
Like lying about like the whole Connor Stallions know it all. Apparently, the only guy that come out of this okay, the only two guys that come out of this okay are Jesse Mentor and Chris Partridge. That's it.
Yeah, 100%.
And Partridge has had to be resuscitated, basically.
He was comatose there for a second.
Yeah, they brought him back with the jaws of life or a defibrillator or something.
Both at the same time.
Like you, you just the whole season with Michigan, I could just tell like they didn't win a home game during COVID,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
they,
tough. It
and then
was
they
tough.
turn around, have 3 great years here. I'm like, this is cool, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And I've felt that the entire time. And I don't really think there's really been anything else like that I've experienced probably since the Hugh Freeze Ole Miss stuff. Where I'm like, this just does not feel right.
Yeah, there's something going on here. We obviously don't have the sources to know exactly what that is, but like it's not hard to know when something feels off. And like there's a difference between something feeling off and something being abnormal. Like Indiana doing what they've done the past 2 years is abnormal, but it's pretty easily explained why it's happening. You have two coordinators who Curt Cignetti trust, but also like have are rising stars in the business. You have a coach who was just kind of underappreciated before he got this gig, and now you have Indiana investing in its football program, and it's a perfect storm. With Ole Miss or whether you're talking about Michigan, like there was very clearly a switch that flipped that was not like nefarious in nature is probably the right way to say it.
Yeah, I know you could talk about like traditional power that's winning. Like people are probably saying like, oh, Ohio State's cheating and Georgia's cheating and Alabama's cheating and Texas is cheating. And like there's all varying levels to this, but like it doesn't feel like that.
No, 100%. And
It's
turns out
it's
we were
so
right.
hard.
We were
It's
very
so
right.
hard. It's so hard to describe though, but you can just it's like obscene. Like you know it when you see it.
100%. Yeah, the Supreme Court told us how to define it.
All right, you got two, right?
Yeah, yeah, and number two will be quick for me. This is where I have Bobby Petrino. My God, brother, I can't believe this man's coaching offensive football for the North Carolina Tar Heels. What are we
It's
doing?
it's
Uh,
insane,
I
dude.
want to know what him and Bill Belichick talk about so badly, though. Like, if we were ever going to get that Hulu documentary series that there was talked about at one point, this is the year I want it because I want to see Bobby Petrino and Bill Belichick interact with each other.
They're fucking sick at each other, man.
You stole my oyster crackers, you asshole.
You stole my fiance. Just some sort of just I don't even want to know. Uh
Jordan
it's
Hudson, do you like motorcycles?
yeah. I mean anything's better than the triple option, I suppose.
100%.
All right, you've got number one and I've got number one.
Yeah, and my number one's a repeat, so I'll go ahead and get this one out of the way. I extended it from just Jim Harbaugh. I have everyone but Jesse Minter and Chris Partridge on the 2023-2024 Michigan staff because Sharon Moore, I don't know if he's cool, but he's definitely a liar. Connor Stallion's definitely a liar. Jim Harbaugh, definitely a liar. That administration lying through their teeth constantly. I don't think I'm gonna have a hard time looking at the Michigan program the same way for a very long time. Like you and I have talked glowingly about Kyle Whittingham for a very long time on the show, basically since the show's inception. The first episode was about Cam Black Smoke Rising, and like we talked about Kyle Whittingham being able to figure it out whether or not he was available or not on that episode. And I'm looking at Kyle Whittingham at Michigan right now, and I'm like, nah, maybe it works. And like that's kind of how I feel about Michigan right now.
And you remove Mike McDonald from that equation, right? Because he
Yeah,
was he
yes.
was with like the Ravens at that point or something.
Yeah, 100%. No, I mean like specifically that staff
Yeah.
specifically.
That is yeah. And then
No,
and then Matt Wise too, which that's awful.
yeah, God, yeah, that's a whole different can of worms.
And I'm opening up a whole different can of worms here with mine. I got a guy who's partially responsible for why we can't go through airport time. I'm talking about Senator Tommy Tuberville. Go home, get a job. I'm not leaving Ole Miss unless I'm in a pine box.
I bet, brother. I bet.
I don't necessarily know if it was him. It might have been, well, I was really southern, but that's okay. It might have been Terry Bowden beforehand poisoning the well in the wake of Pat Dye. I think honestly, ever since then, with maybe a splash of Gus Malzahn, Auburn's just been a dirty program.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you know, not to get too political, but I don't think Tommy Tuberville's changed too much either.
No, he's like at people's houses. I think he was like at either Auburn, going to Texas Tech, or going to Texas Tech to Cincinnati. It's like, yeah, I'm recruiting and I'm leaving right now.
I'm on my way out. You can send me a postcard.
I will say that 04 Auburn team was damn good with Ronnie Brown, Cadillac, and Jason Campbell. So
A
good.
lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And I would say that's probably the most important team for the creation of the college football playoff in history, I would say.
Oh
Just
yeah.
because like they didn't get a shot.
No, they didn't get a shot and they definitely deserved one
Yeah,
to
more so
some
than
degree.
Oklahoma just fear peeing down its legs, man.
Well, that's the Sooner way.
Yeah, flipping that caravan over. And on that note, let's get out of here with some 4 for 4.
Yes, sir.
Bill Connolly wrote a post, and I moved down a little bit on that, and he talked about some of the places where he thinks that a head coach or coordinator change is going to make all the difference. Let's go in each league where we think that like some sort of managerial coaching change is going to lead to a positive impact for this team in year one. Let's start with the ACC with who you have.
I went with, and this one was pretty easy. Virginia Tech hiring
Hmm.
James Franklin. And do I think like James Franklin's going to win a national championship at Virginia Tech? I don't. But do I think that James Franklin is the perfect guy to raise the baseline at Virginia Tech to what it should be in Blacksburg? Absolutely. Like I think he is. I think he's going to get them winning 8 to 10 games per season, and I think he's a stepping stone coach at Virginia Tech, in my opinion. I think he's going to elevate them to a level where they're not necessarily like competing with Miami for ACC championships or anything like that. But I do think that he's going to get the respectability in there. And then, like, when Virginia Tech has their next coaching cycle, like whether that's James Franklin taking another job, whatever that may be, I think that Virginia Tech is going to be fishing in a lot bigger waters than they have than like hiring a Justin Fuente or hiring a Brent Pry.
Yes, Virginia Tech and James Franklin was obviously the correct choice here because like it elevates the floor more so than anything. The other one that I had, and this is going to surprise you. I'm not a big fan of the head coaching hire. I think the defensive coordinator hire is pretty good. I think getting Chris Richard at Stanford's a big deal.
Yeah, I like that. I see where your head's at there.
My logic is, look, Tavita Pritchard, he played there. He's the former quarterback before Andrew Luck and
Right.
everything like that. A little bit older than us, not by much. Again, he was on the commander staff. Richard obviously has been on the Cowboys staff and the Seahawks staff, and you know probably more what he can do. I think that's the biggest thing that Stanford's been lacking the last
Mhm.
couple of years. They need to have people here who are, in NFL circles, not Frank Reich, who
Yeah.
just like you bring in people who like can get into Stanford. It's like we can get you to the NFL, we can buy in. That's how you elevate your floor because you can recruit high end guys like your Davis Mills, your
Yeah.
Walker Littles, whomever Andrew Luck's want to come in there, but like not you got to get people like how do you get your Doug Baldwins? How do you get your Richard Shermans going? How do you get your Toby Gerhardts?
How do
That
you
type of
become
coach.
West Coast Notre Dame? Truly is what
Mhm.
you're asking.
I think having a head coach, and then again, that was what David Shaw and Jim Harbaugh provided. They had NFL backgrounds.
No, 100%. And I mean, like, I also want to give honorable mention. Like, I think Tosh Lapoy is going to be very good for Cal as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Totally forgot about that. Big Ten, TIN Big Ten.
Big Ten, I've got Ohio State, and you replaced Brian Hartline, who I don't think is a good offensive coordinator, with an NFL offensive coordinator and Arthur Smith. Think that's going to pay dividends for the Buckeyes in a very, very
Yeah,
big way.
yeah. They're my pick to win the national championship right now for that one of those reasons.
Yeah, 100%. Like I was looking through the Big Ten and like I just mentioned a second ago, like I'm not sure what the Kyle Whittingham hire really does for Michigan at this point because I don't really know where Michigan is like structurally to some degree. Uh Michigan State, I think, is a lost cause. Like, sorry, Pat Fitzgerald, I don't think you're going to be able to like fix that. And so, like, when I'm looking at meaningful change, I think you replace a coordinator who I don't think is very good at his job with someone who I at the NFL might not be that good at his job, but in college I think can come in and make a really big impact.
I mean, look, the Tennessee Titans have been worse since they let him go.
It's
Like
true. It's true.
it's he went 7-10 every year in Atlanta, and that was the thing he did.
I mean, he wasn't
Um,
like an abject disaster as an NFL head coach by any stretch of the imagination. He just wasn't good.
no, no, and then the Steelers are gonna hit the skids here, and him gone now too.
I think the Steelers were hitting the skids no matter who was in there, but that's neither here nor there.
I'll tell you what, they're gonna be worse than the Browns this year. I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
I like that. Oh, that's a good take. I like it.
I mean, the Ravens or the Bengals are gonna win that division going away.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of sad bags of craps in the NFL right now, dude.
There really is. It's tough.
It's it's
It's
it's a
tough.
tough it's a tough time right here. Um, I did mention Kyle Whittingham. I think that we've talked a lot about that. I'm gonna throw a coordinator hire that I think helps. I think Chip Kelly Northwestern's good.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
You get Aiden Childs playing for
Mhm.
David Braun, who's survived a very, very tough and tumultuous year there. And I think a little bit of a boost here. Chip Kelly's overqualified to be an OC in the college game. And I think at Northwestern, I think he kind of plays into what he could do. I think, he's not really going to be a big recruiter. You have more for lack of a better word, you have more alumni support at Northwestern than you ever would at UCLA. So
Mhm.
you can have a pretty good year there. Like if somebody's going to take advantage of the soft tummy there in the Big Ten, I'm not ruling out Northwestern.
No, I don't hate that. The more I've been thinking about Aiden Childs with Chip Kelly, I wonder if it looks a lot like my boy, the Whoopsie Daisy Kings, Anthony Calandria's season at Virginia, where he earned the
Yeah.
title of Whoopsie Daisy King, where like we know this team's not good enough to win the league by any stretch of the imagination, but can we create enough chaos to where we make a bowl game? Absolutely.
And speaking of chaos, what do you got in the Big 12?
Big 12, this one was pretty easy. I think Oklahoma State, like overhauling the staff, getting Eric Morrison, the North Texas staff, essentially in there, like there's nowhere to go but up. But like I also think that you immediately like make yourself a potential bowl team, whereas you were like, had you not fired Mike Gundy, there was like legitimate 0 and 12 potential that we're talking about here.
That was a very obvious one, and that's why I went in a slightly different direction. In
Yeah,
addition to this one, welcome back home, Andy Koltnicki.
dude, that's right. The prodigal son, the prodigy son, if you will.
I mean, he's heading back to Kansas like the Wizard of Oz.
That's right.
I don't know if you saw that, but like the name of whatever it is the Wizard of Oz, it's he goes by it has a bunch of middle names, so it's OZ, so it's like Oscar something something, and the last name's like Dodds, but like his last several nicknames spells out Pinhead,
Love that.
so it's Oz Pinhead.
Hell yes.
I think going back to being with Lance Leipold, that's going to get Kansas back to a bowl caliber team. You move on from Jalen Daniels, rip that Band-Aid off. It's like that last little bit of a condiment you got in your fridge. It's like, I like this, but it's been in here for 3 years and it's starting to curdle. We got to get rid of this thing.
Just hitting the hell out of that ketchup bottle.
Which is apparently not supposed to go in the fridge, but we put it in there anyway because this is America.
That's right.
And let's move on to the SEC. Get out of here.
I went with Florida on this one. I think that of all the hires, and honestly, in a very similar way to James Franklin at Virginia Tech, I think John Summerall at worst is going to stabilize Florida. Like, I think they're not going to be this hot Billy Napier mess, this hot Jim McElwain mess that we've witnessed over the past few years. Like, I think John Summerall is an adult. And I think, like, Florida having an adult in the room, we know what Florida's potential is. We know what Florida's capable of. Florida's problem throughout all of this has never been talent. They've been a talented roster throughout most of this. And I think getting John Summerall in there, like, do I think Florida's going to win a national championship under John Summerall? Probably not, honestly. But do I think it's a good hire to like stabilize, raise the floor, and definitely raise the ceiling from where it has been? Absolutely. So I think, and like when I look around the rest of the SEC, I'm not sure it's quite like I don't know if we're going to see any impact as big as that, especially with like, and part of that is just the potential of Florida and John Summerall being able to maximize some of that.
You get Buster Faulkner to come over from Georgia Tech. You get Brad White to come over from Alma Mater, Kentucky. You bring John Summerall in there. That's the obvious one. Florida's got an outside shot at maybe making the playoff this year. I don't think that they're going to do it,
No,
but they might. John Summerall has proven to be one hell of a quote, man. Like
no,
he's,
100%.
Benjamin Henderson and Hail Florida Hail is kind of like, I'm kind of down with the hire because he's like, this is just another G5 guy from Louisiana. I'm like, we love John Summerall. I don't think we knew that he was this much of a jar. And I think more importantly, he's a big time yeller at kids. Hates,
100%. Hey, look, Florida needs someone to yell at kids because I don't think anyone's yelled at those kids in a hot minute.
dude, he hates spring break.
That's why DJ Lagway went to Baylor because he knows Dave Aranda's not going to yell. He's just going to be like, Sensei, listen, I need like we're Zen
Baylor,
mastering.
Baylor's go to Baylor, man. This
That's
is how I
right.
start. The other guy I threw out there. I think what Zach Arnett's back in Mississippi State. I think that helps.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think Zach Arnett's a bad coordinator. I think he wasn't cut out to be a head coach.
Then maybe he will at some point. That was an impossible situation.
Oh yeah.
And I think my big thing here is I think Jeff Lebby has his guys playing really hard. I think Zach Arnett bringing him back in the culture and having this thing kind of build. Like
Yeah.
Mississippi State got to go to a bowl game because of APR. Like they was like focus on school guys. If you guys get close, we can get in, and they did. They'll take advantage of this. And I think, I mean, they played Georgia pretty hard for a while last year, didn't win. They got a new quarterback in there that's not Blake Shapen. I think that they're going to be they might be sneaky good there in the SEC this year.
Yeah, like I mean, are they competing for an SEC title? No. But like
No.
are they gonna can they cause some trouble? For sure.
They'll prevent like an LSU or an A&M or an Oklahoma from making the playoff. That's what they're capable of.
100%. Yeah, they'll spoil someone's season for sure.
And I'm not going to spoil anybody else's season for the rest of the show because this was episode 263 of False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter at X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe if you on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. That's about how many teams Todd Graham coached.
Correct. All of them is dream though. All of them were in the dream.
I think that's as many bridges as Lane Kiffin's burned too, with the Raiders, USC, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and arguably FAU.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a good thing he's never coached in Pittsburgh because like there's a lot of bridges to burn there, you know what
Um,
I mean?
what villain would he be in Batman?
Batman, he'd be Scarecrow for sure. Like giving everyone hallucinogens and then like making them think that they're the ones who are crazy.
I can kind of see him as a Heath Ledger Joker. just
100%.
just pressing a button, blowing up a hospital because he can. You want to see this pencil go away?
Ta-da!
Ta-da. Uh, where's the trigger?
Just wanted to introduce a little chaos.
So just a little chaos here. Oh.
Oh God.
I don't know if I get into the emo Batman, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So,
The first movie is actually really good. I did enjoy it quite a bit. It's long, very long. And make sure you're turning the brightness up on your TV because it's also very dark.
and make sure you're not watching on a planet with somebody who smells, because I did that.
I've gotten in this bad habit. I don't even know if it's bad, but it's a somewhat awkward habit of I watch movies that are like not family appropriate on planes, and I don't know why, but like the last two movies I've watched on planes were Weapons, which I don't know if you've seen Weapons. Watched that on a plane. Definitely, like there were like kids near me, and I was like halfway through the movie, I was like, "Oh, that's probably not great," but we'll just keep powering through it. And then flying back from Cincinnati, I watched The Departed, and I was like, also probably not really appropriate for the kids around me, but here we are.
At least you're not my brother-in-law who watched Django Unchained on a plane.
Oh my God. Yeah, I haven't ventured into the Tarantino realm on a plane, but maybe we'll get there.
Oh man, let's I gotta get out of here. The Tarantino going, I can't do it. Oh,
None of them are podcast appropriate, that's for sure.
be sure to tip and pay us on Buzzsprout because this is False Start.